Are we rolling?
Yeah, it's official. We are rolling. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into It.
From our iPod.
Yeah. iPods.
It ain't happening.
Let's be transparent right from the beginning here. We are recording into Zoom.
Are they sponsoring us? Is this an ad buy? Time buy?
But no, we're doing this to Zoom. We're trying to keep our social distancing in check. So we're all recording from different areas. And we have as a special guest today, Pete Sepenuk.
There he
Hello.
is.
Thanks for having me back, bros. Good to be here.
We're excited to have you back. Dave, how you doing? And Rod, how you doing? Who's Rod? Teddy, how you doing?
I'm good. Is that a Peroni you're drinking, Sepenuk?
Maybe.
Nice. I'm jealous.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'm gonna pour some down into your square.
Can I let me ask you guys a question. So obviously there's a weird thing going on in the world where we are all sort of on lockdown, and it's a little bit scary and it's a little bit odd. And we're all doing our best to try to understand and do our part and all that. We're all in the industry. So do you guys feel like there's a certain level of catching up that's happening with scripts, with projects, with ideas, with all of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
big lag.
Yeah. There's an odd level of just sort of like waiting. There's an odd level of just sitting, sort of like the uncertainty, like, should I be working on this? Should I hold off? There's nobody knows, because it's literally changing minute to minute.
Yeah.
It's hour to hour. I mean, it's great. I mean, thank God I work from home, so the joke's on you, coronavirus, in my own studio. But I mean, don't you guys feel like it's not like any one person says, okay, here's exactly what we're going to be doing now. It's going to change every second.
Well, yeah. Look, it's a very real thing because we were leaving to do a movie at Lifetime. We were going to do a Christmas movie starting on the 28th of this month. We are on hold officially.
You have until like August though, Roberts. Really?
Well,
right?
We've got time. I think we can shoot it in June. We could shoot it in July. It's not a big deal. Everyone's just sort of, I think we all have to take this pretty seriously and realize that anything we're doing could wait.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that because this is happening, whatever projects you were trying to sell are going to be hard to sell. I have an email from my agent. And you guys may all have the same email, but the email basically says that networks are still going to be taking pitches on new product. Have you guys heard this?
I have not heard that. I did not get that email.
I didn't either.
I did not get that.
Same way that me and Dave weren't invited to hang out.
We're on the outskirts, brother.
None of us. I believe it though. I mean, the world's not gonna. It's slowing. It's stopping, but it's not gonna completely stop. Like there's gonna be stuff taking off when this clears up. It's actually good. Rich is helping me with my project, and he's all about it right now.
Rich Alarcon.
Yeah. Here's the irony. I thought I was gonna get all this writing done, which I have, but my wife had other plans for me when I'm home. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna go write? Can you take the kids for a hike?" What? Can I take the kids for a hike? How does that play in?
Can I tell you? I was sitting the first. It must have been the beginning of the week. I sat down. I started watching TV around. I don't know. I was watching like Pete Davidson's comedy routine or whatever.
Oh, and the Netflix special.
Yeah, so I started watching that, and then the next day around 3:00, I started watching TV again. And my wife comes in and says, "We're not going to be watching TV in the middle of the day."
Wow. Yeah.
Just sitting back and for nothing. I said, "Well, what else is there to do?" And then the list came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm aware now that there's a lot more to do than just watch TV and drink.
Right. That your attic has never been cleaner. The closet's never clean. The pantry. You got rid of all the things that expired in 2016. I know.
The garage is clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I did watch a good doc though. First night, that was the only time I was able to. Called "Searching for Sugarman." You guys seen that?
Oh yeah. That's a great
really
doc.
good.
Yeah. Oscar winner.
Incredible.
David, have you seen it?
No, but I've been watching a lot of movies like Contagion and Flu.
Why you got to do that, Davey Dave?
I got to prepare, player.
Yeah, I was too scared to watch Contagion, so we watched the Simpsons movie, which is the same plot, essentially. Hey, Doomsday is family time. That's what you learned. It's quite, it's really good. But yeah, it's funny. Back to Mark's point of, that networks are still buying shows. I had a project with an executive, and I sent it to him like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then suddenly last Wednesday during the shut-in, he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I finally read your script." I was like, "Yeah, it took a pandemic for you to like finally get to my projects, So, I think whether or not I think it might take a little longer to sell a show because there has to be. It's not like everybody's in the same office at the networks anymore. People are going to be reaching out to each other from different locations. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they're looking for. Do you think that the content they're looking for has changed based on what's been happening the last few months in the world?
I'm going to read to you what came out of this agency so that you guys could hear it firsthand. So it says, "Hi, everyone. We hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. Open for business is as follows. A&E moving forward on development. They want to hear pitches via phone and VC. Of course, they're now more open to corona-proof shows."
What does that mean exactly?
That means Modelo, Heineken, Peroni.
But otherwise, business as usual so that they can get up and running when the time comes. Amazon, same thing. Animal Planet, Apple, BET, Bravo, CBS, CMT, CNN, CNBC, Comedy Central. I mean, the list goes on and on. It sounds like everyone's still ready and looking for product. So, look, the hardest thing that's going to come up is that you had a project that you had got to somebody, and that executive is sort of now pushed it off to the side, and now you're thinking, well, what's going to happen? Do they like it? Are they doing it? Because now in a lot of ways you have to start over again, right? You have to figure out where the world's at, where your executive's at, and see if there's a change of plan for the network. Don't get stuck with the product that you were selling beforehand. There might be a backlog of things that were sort of in place and sort of moving, and people were potentially going to look at it or buy it or whatever it was, and start thinking about what new product you can come up with, and keep an eye on what's happening, because a lot of the networks are going to be looking to ramp up and do more stuff when this all clears up, and we have no idea when it's going to clear up. But I heard from somebody today, it was in our thread, right?
That the Netflix shows were going to be, or they have content all the way up until the end of the year.
HBO Max too.
And that starts in May, yeah.
And are all these, so they're all going to sort of, like HBO Max hasn't really changed their strategy. They're all going to come out, as planned, right? Those new streaming services.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone's going to be devouring the product. So I would say get your new product ready. Start coming up with new stuff. Start writing new stuff. Keep editing your film so that you can finish it and have it ready for sale. Pete, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but whatever you're doing, get that happening.
Hey, well, yeah. Well, here's to that exact point. I guess like streaming services went up like 20-something% in China during when they were in the midst of their pandemic. And I actually have a show on Quibi called Chrissy's Court with Chrissy Teigen. It's a Judge Judy style show where she's the judge. For that.
Yeah, saw that.
So I'm the voice of that show. And so I think Quibi, I mean, it's coming out at probably it's funny. I think it's coming out potentially the best time on April 6th is when it's supposed to launch, because people are going to be starving for new content. That particular streaming service it's really revolutionary because it's all original content. They're not falling back on any libraries, previous libraries of films or TV shows or anything. It's all, new stuff. So whether or not people are going to want to pay $4.95 or $7.95 a month for another streaming service, that, who knows? But I think it's probably coming out at a time where people are really going to be devouring new content and new streaming services.
And it's short form, right, Pete?
It's all short. Everything on there is 10 minutes or less. And they have some heavy hitters on there, like Steven Spielberg has a show on there, and Liam Hemsworth has a show on there, and Idris Elba. Godspeed, Idris Elba. Hopefully you're okay with your corona.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of, Bill Murray's got a show. So yeah, there's a ton of content on there. Plus there's going to be a lot of live news shows on there too.
What does one of the voiceovers sound like for the Chrissy Teigen show? Can you a little sample?
Hit him with a beat.
I'll just I'll do the opening of the show. So the premise of the show, obviously, it's Chrissy Teigen, and these are real cases, by the way. They're actual small claims cases, and so she is litigating these small claims court case. And so the opening is the cases are real, the people are real, and the judgments are legally binding, no matter how unqualified the judge is. So, that's Chrissy Teigen. Who is like the coolest, by the way, who wound up being like unbelievably awesome and hilarious. And I think the show is a lot better than anybody thought it was going to be. I thought, it's Chrissy Teigen. She's, got a lot of followers, so it'll be a lark. It'll be hilarious. She'll be in the court and whatever. But I guess once they actually saw it, they're like, okay, this is way better than we thought. So
nice.
Yeah. So we'll see. And then they heard my voice. They're like, maybe it's not as good as we thought. Just but yeah, the streaming services, I mean, they're all coming out like next month or in the next couple of months. It's like Peacock, HBO Max, Quibi, right?
All in May. Yeah. Right.
Did you hear the commercials for Quibi? There's all kinds of commercials for Quibi now. And now it's a thing now, right? That I'm going to Quibi that.
Right. Which means quick bites, by the way. That's what that means. Quick bites.
10 minutes?
It might be French or Greek for 10 minutes or less, but it's basically Quibi is a short form for quick bites, which means sort of on-the-go streaming content.
Nice.
That was the thought. It's, Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman's.
All right. So just to get back to this really quick, all networks are open for business. They do have a lot of product that they're going to be putting out, especially the streamers that they have set up through the end of the year. But that doesn't mean that you can't create more stuff and start focusing on new ideas, maybe some stuff that you wanted to write, and just have some things ready. I am definitely going to start developing some new scripts. I was going to do it anyway, but it really gives me the opportunity to really dig in, about what.
And how many projects do you have in development at any one time, Mark?
Well, right now I have 2 holiday movies. I have another script that is set in Mexican holiday, which is Day of the Dead. I guess it's a holiday, huh? And then I have a 4th that I'm working on, which is it's sort of a thriller. I don't want to mention any of the writers because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But I don't know. I've got about 5 or 6.
Because they're working with Roberts, right?
Yeah. They're working with him. But I've got about probably 5 or 6 scripts that I'm working on right now.
Well, Rod's got his movie.
Oh yeah, I'm working on Made in Mexico, which I'm getting cuts coming in. They're really good. I'm working on this art house that I've been working on for a while. That kind of turned into an action thriller. I'm really excited about. I've been banging that out for this last week. It's been tough because, like I said, it's like my 3rd rewrite of an original short, and it's just kind of morphed into Robert. You'll like it because it kind of takes place in a town like Engarez. It takes place in a guy was the setting that we were at is perfect. No offense, Davey Dave and Pete. I know you guys weren't there, but hey. But it's
more ammo for me and Davey Dave's tequila project.
Yep.
More ammo.
Stay tuned.
But it's really good. But it's funny because Danny A, I was corresponding with him. He wants to read all my stuff now. So I sent him pitch deck, scripts, and all that stuff. And Robert, you were supposed to read my coming of age, but of course you're not going to. But that's okay. That's okay. It'll find a home now. Okay, it'll find a home. Don't worry.
Now that you're Mr. Free Time.
I think what everyone else wants to know who's listening is what is happening with Made in Mexico. Like what we were going through the process with you where you had a little bit of difficult time with your editor, and now you're working with Rich Alarcon. What have you seen? Has it improved? What's going on?
It has dramatically. And he took the original cut, the string up that I had, and kind of made his own, which is really cool. Like he tightened it up a lot. And as a producer on it, I get it. It flows. It's quick. As a writer and an actor, I'm like, I kind of like that dialogue, but it really didn't move the film forward, you know?
Yeah.
But it's and he changed the tone. It's a little more. He added his own music because he started off music videos. So everything's with music now, even though it's temp music. He's working with Joel and Sammy to kind of like he's setting up the pace and the style of music, and he's really excited about it, which is cool. So I'm excited. And
how much of it have you seen?
He sent something this morning that's like I think it was like 13 minutes.
Did Rich come on is he actually physically editing the movie now?
Yeah, so originally he came on because I just wanted him to kind of clean it up and first one just to look at it. And then he looked at it and he said, "Man, you got a lot of good stuff here. Would you be interested in me just kind of, condensing that first part?" Because the notes that I really got from everybody was the second half of the movie's great. The first half just kind of drags. You really got to tighten it up. And so I didn't know where to tighten it up because I'd already watched it so many times. I was like, okay. And he said, "Yeah, let me just check it out. Let me see what I could do." And then he started rolling with it. And I really needed it to be put into, I don't know if you're aware, I think I told you this, Pete. The guy who cut it before cut it in After Effects. And I needed
That's it. Right. You were the first person to tell me, inform me that someone had actually edited a feature in After Effects. Blew my mind.
Yes.
Right.
That's how it originally started because I needed it transferred from After Effects into Premiere. And that's how it actually all came about. And he was like, "Yeah, I could do it, And I said, "Okay, cool. Just take the film, do a God, what's the word where you piece it together? I forget the
An assembly?
No, trace cut it into Premiere.
Okay.
And then I was gonna have another buddy of mine. He said, "Yeah, I'll kind of help you with the beginning." And I was just kind of like lost in no man's land. And then he started doing that, and he said, "You got a lot of really good footage here that you didn't use." He goes, "You got stuff that, why wouldn't you guys use this and that?" And like you're." And I said, "Well," he said, "Would you mind if I just kind of like start putting things together?" And then it took off from there.
That's great. So just from a technical standpoint, because I'm a techie dork on this kind of thing. When you were how well did it transfer from After Effects and Adobe Premiere?
It's funny because he did the trace cut, but then he started doing his own cut. So he's really not even using the trace cut anymore.
Oh, so he's almost starting all over again.
He's basically going from like scratch because he started seeing footage that we didn't use that he saw. He was like, "Wow, this is really good stuff. Why didn't you guys use this angle?" And, I'm not an editor. I just kind of said, "Well, we just didn't think it would work. We kind of went in this direction." And he said, "Do you mind if I start doing it?" So it has kind of has like a Rodriguez feel in the beginning now, which is kind of dope. And like I said, he's a music guy. So everything, he couldn't understand how anybody would edit a movie without music. Like everything to him is, exactly.
Right.
So he started using
That's so funny. Because when I watched it was out, here's what blew my mind about watching your movie, is how compelling it was without any music.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So, and if something's working pretty well without music, then when you want to start adding music, it's only going to make it, way better. So,
are you nervous that it's not going to be long enough? How long do you think it's going to be now that with all these cuts?
That was my initial concern, and he said not to worry. He's got a lot of B-roll footage for transitions and stuff like that he was able to kind of put in there to get us from location to location with music. So it kind of fills gaps, but keeps you into the scene because the music's kind of taking you into the next thing. But he's pretty secure that it's going to be the whole time. Like it's going to make the feature length. Because I told him, are we going to need to do some reshoots? So I have to do a rewrite. I already started coming up with other scenes that would kind of like make the story move and kind of add things in. And he said, no, we don't need it.
Oh, wow.
So let me
36-minute blooper reel. That's all you need,
right?
So let me Let me ask you this.
I was actually going to cast Roberts because there was a thing that are you guys familiar with the Starbucks Schultz? You know his story?
Howard Schultz?
Yeah, you know how Starbucks started? He was a failed entrepreneur. He couldn't eat like everything, and he was married and everything, and he met with his his wife's father, he went to Italy and went to like a not a Starbucks, but like a coffee shop like that. And he came back and he had this idea to recreate it here. And the father took him on a walk and he told him, "This is it. If this, you can't keep doing this. You're married to my daughter, you got kids and the whole thing." He was a failed entrepreneur. And he said he really believed in it. He broke down crying and he was like, "Okay." And boom, Starbucks, baby. Did you know that,
Which
Robert?
closed.
Did you
Which
know
just
that,
closed
Robert?
near me.
I didn't know that. Are you showing people, are you showing investors, are you showing your exec producers, are you showing them the cut that you're getting from Rich?
No. Not,
Oh, okay. Why not?
No. Because I want to get it to a point where I could show them. Because right now it's good. Like if you watched it, Roberts, especially you, because you're the one who gave me one of the notes too. It said it has to be quicker. You have everything there. You have all the ingredients. You just got to put it together. It needs to be tighter. You would go, it looks bigger. It feels bigger. It's a film. I just want to get it to a point where when I do show it to them, I'm so confident that they're going to say, "I'm going to write you a check," that I don't want to like half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? Good. I'm not in any hurry anymore. Like what's the hurry? Like I would rather get it done right.
That is such a great question, Mark. I mean, I'm wondering what kind of experience do you guys have with when you submit a project, whether it's a script or a first cut? When has there been a time where you've submitted a film or a script to an executive or the people you're working with where you haven't been confident and they've been like, "This is fantastic," or it's been the opposite where it's like, this movie is in such a great place, we love it, you send it in, they're like, "This has a lot of problems"?
Yeah, well, for me, I don't think I've ever shown a film where I wasn't nervous that it wasn't very good.
So you're always feeling that no matter what.
Yeah, the first cut, the second cut. Sometimes it takes a minute to feel really confident about what you're doing. I don't think I ever feel confident that I have a really great cut. I'm always nervous about it. I'm always thinking that there's something to do. I don't think, not until I get into, almost the fine cut, like almost the fine cut is when I start to feel, okay, there's nothing else that could have happened. We did everything we could do to get it right. So I think the first cuts are always really nerve-wracking, but I like to show investors early because I like them to be part of it. You're never going to show an investor a movie and have him or her be blown away. They're always going to be a little bit let down because they're expecting so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes investors are really positive, whether or not they like it or they don't. They'll say like, "Oh, it was awesome," just because they're really positive people. That's how they became rich, right? Because they're very.
And then they're found dead the next day.
Right, exactly.
All right, so look, we're wishing you a bunch of luck with Made in Mexico. Obviously, it continues to grow and to have its own life, and you have to do whatever you can to make it great. You gotta do whatever you can. So good. Okay, so you'll fill us in next time as to where you're at. Hopefully, you'll have a finished movie. When do you think you'll have a finished movie?
Rich is like full steam ahead because he said everything kind of slowed down for him and this is what he had. This is all he has. And he's at home. So he's dead set on like banging through this. Like I said, the second half of the movie, when we're at Ochoa's residence, it was good. You know what I mean? Like everything was there. It was really the first half that needed work and we're getting through that. So I'm still hoping for Cinco de Mayo, after Cinco de Mayo, like right around that time, like a week or two after.
All right, wishing you luck. Fingers crossed. Hey, Pete, what are you working on? What are you doing during this pandemic to sort of keep yourself busy?
What aren't I doing? Now, a lot of binge watching, a lot of films. I did see McMillions, by the way.
How
you
was
guys
that?
have not seen it? Did you watch it?
Great.
No.
Yeah. Great.
Oh my God. How amazing is that? How great is that FBI agent Doug Matthews? Holy crap, that guy needs his own show.
Hilarious.
Is that Netflix?
It's HBO.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Where can I don't have HBO.
Give me my password.
Nice.
You can log on. So yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that obviously I work from my home studio here, and the voiceover. Ooh, Mark, getting close. Hi there. The hair follicles were insane. The colors.
Yeah.
I saw something living in there. Anyway, since I work at home and since I do most of the stuff out of the home studio anyway, that hasn't changed per se. Although I'm, obviously like everybody else, I'm concerned that the jobs that I've been continuing to do, hopefully they're going to continue. I mean, luckily, like with Ovation, they sent all their producers and editors home, save for like 2 or 3 people that are like spread out in their offices there. They sent them all home with hard drives to keep them busy until July. So, chances, because most of the stuff on Ovation, I mean, even they have original shows on there. Those were, with the exception, I think one show was almost done shooting for the season. But with the exception of that, everything else is all like, it's a Lethal Weapon marathon, or it's, it's In the Heat of the Night, like old TV shows. So it's stuff that's already been, there's no new content there from that respect. It's a lot of older stuff. What's that?
Rockford Files.
The Rockford Files.
He's the fall guy. Anyway, so so there's that. But then then other but
you know what, Pete? You should do a new A-Team intro. That would be amazing.
Mr. T, like you've never seen it before. God, I love that show. But yeah, I mean, let me
ask you this: are you currently doing voiceovers for those shows, for Ovation, for other things? Are you editing any films right now or television shows?
I just finished a movie, a feature that is done, and now they're just putting the finishing touches on that one. It's called A Genie's Tale. It's got Jake Paul and Laura Marano in it. It's actually a really cute family talking dog movie. And I know, Mark's, you've got some experience developing talking dog movies. This one's actually, considering, the time that it was a short schedule. They shot the whole thing really quickly. Didn't have a lot of money. The kid actors in it, and Jake Paul, like really good performances. I was like shocked.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. So that's done. And then I'm doing another a clip show right now that I'm working on that hopefully I'm going to finish, the next couple weeks. And then I've got some scripts that I'm trying. The script that I was talking about where the guy, finally read it, the pandemic. I've got that. So I have a couple of my own projects going. It's funny. I was actually talking to Disney Plus about some projects, hair products. And basically it was great. I was kind of going up the ladder there. They're like, oh, this is great. I'm going to turn you on to this person over here. I'm like, great. And she's like, great. I love it. I'm going to turn to this person over here. And everybody's gone at Disney. They're not in their offices anymore. So I don't know where that particular project stands.
But they're working from home. Everyone's still sort of doing their thing.
Yeah. And now I have 3 other coworkers, a wife and 2 kids all the time. Along with the 3 cats. Exciting. Exciting times.
I'm trying to
say. So, yeah, I mean, that's another kind of a, honestly, that's been the only real bummer is to watch our kids not be able to do the things that they were so excited about, at the end of their, to finish off the school year. That's been the biggest bummer from my standpoint.
Yeah. And Dave, what have you been up to? What are you doing during this time?
Well, I've got some editing and cutting to do, a couple things for VMR, going through that stuff. And
Lopez's company, let's be clear.
Yeah, let's be clear. Yeah, Rio's company, and working on that. And then also what I'm trying to put together some IG video content, just some silly stuff because, I think people need it at this time too. So I think I'm going to put it out this week. Just some silly video stuff, just some parody shit. Yeah. Just to keep it light and to keep myself entertained and from keeping my insane, to be honest. But yeah.
How's the other podcast?
Yeah, we got another podcast too that we do weekly too. So we're working on that. We have a lot of fun. We get to cut up and just go wild pretty much. And it's actually turning out really well.
I wanted to bring up, hang on a second. I wanted to bring up something really positive that Dave does. He has an IG page called Davy's Heroes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. So I've been following it because I like positive things. I like to sort of see the positive in the world these days. And it's kind of nice to see that people are doing things for others. And it seems like that IG, that Instagram page is all dedicated to that. What is that all about? What's the story with that?
So just to take it back to the roots real quick, my dad was a huge humanitarian. He was pretty big in the community that we grew up in. He was basically the epitome of my page. I mean, kindness, goodness, giving, being selfless, and just showing everyone that, hey, it's okay to have a heart and want to be, in love with life, and to give back would, just to give whatever he could. Is pretty much okay. Be kind to every kind. So that, I think that would sum it up. But I put good posts on there, uplifting posts, things that show the kindness of others, and it gives kind of an inspiration to people, because I hear the affirmations from a lot of people, and they give a lot of good feedback. I just love it. So it actually uplifts me too, and it encourages me, and keeps me out of the negative media. And, I think it's just a positive twist to put on the everyday social media feed.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I was checking it out. I think it's really cool. Congratulations.
Yep. You just got yourself another new follower. Me.
Yeah.
These are fantastic. Just scrolling through here.
Yeah.
Nice.
24. You already have 24,000 followers.
Yeah.
Positive, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Davies Heroes.
Davies Heroes, yeah.
Go check it out. It's pretty awesome. Got to keep it positive out there. Keep knowing that people out there are doing good things for others.
Absolutely. Very important. Yeah.
But Robert, you'll appreciate this. So with the movie, Rich needed some music. So guess what? Signed up with Extreme Music. Got an account. Started going on there, dumping music into a file that him, Ron Lee, and I share. Man, like the stuff in Extreme Music, I don't even really know if I need a supervisor anymore.
Wow.
Seriously.
I mean, nice knowing you, Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
No, I'm joking.
He's got to negotiate the deal still.
Yeah, but it's so easy. Like, it was so incredibly easy to pick the music and just kind of string it out. Well, I dumped everything in the bin, but then I started going through the cut and going, like, finding the songs and going, God, I could even just cut it from here to here. It's really cool, and it's really great. And I kind of got addicted one night. I was up to like 3 a.m. just listening to music. And I'm here in my room. This is where I write. So my wife's like, would you just go to bed, please? I was like, no, go to sleep. You go to sleep.
You go to sleep. I think that's so great. I think that's that's one of the most fun things about making a movie is like I said, picking the music, and especially picking the right song or the right track for a certain scene.
Sure.
The hardest thing though is when you want to try and make that all uniform. Like you want to make it seem like it's all one continuous score with like when you reprise some themes, or you like this is like this person's theme or this character's theme, or the opening theme comes back in this part. If you wanted to do that, or even if you didn't want to do that, it needs to sound like it's sort of all coming from one, rather than just like cherry picking from that. And if you can do that, but it's very doable to make that happen through a library.
When I was doing the documentary with Crochet, I would find music that was going to be like my it was going to be my main music, my main title music, my end credit music, my hero music. I would find hero songs that were going to be played while my hero was on screen, or when the love story was on screen, or when I had, her on screen, which was sort of when she was being deceiving. But what I liked about Extreme is that I could take the theme song, like I could remove the guitar, or I could remove the drums, and I can use it later on in the middle of the movie to remind people, oh, that was, that's a feel for when he's on screen. And it didn't have to sound exactly the same as the opening title sequence. It sounded a little bit different because I had removed some elements. So it felt like a lighter version of it. Almost like, remember the Brady Bunch? Like there was always different versions of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Sad, right? So that's what I did with a lot of the music. So I've got to say, extrememusic.com is amazing for that, because you can pick a song and then reprise it numerous times, and each time have it sound different. So I like that. I like picking hero songs and songs for the police, songs for the chases, and then just adjust them a little bit so that I can reuse them, and it doesn't feel like I just used the same song 3 times.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right. How does it? You know what? This brings up another point. I mean, you guys probably know the answer to this, Mark. You in particular, since you're pals with the head of Extreme. Do they have like a set rate? Like, this is going to be what we're going to charge you for this track in your movie in perpetuity, or is it just does it vary by film? Does it vary by project?
There's no set rate, but if you use a lot of the Extreme music cuts, then you can make a deal. It's reasonable and it's really, really good. I've actually considered doing an entire movie, like a scripted movie with Extreme music, no composer.
Right.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to get back to people in the industry that are at home or that are working. I want you to know that we're all in the same boat. We got to keep creating. We got to keep making product. We got to keep thinking about new ideas. We've got to keep pitching, reaching out to executives, reaching out to writers that we want to work with. If you're the writer, reach out to producers you want to work with, and just start getting things in the queue so that you can take off running when this thing breaks, because it will break. We will come out of it. Things will end up being right back where it was, except for there'll be a lot of product. They'll be looking for a lot of product, and hopefully your product will be ready. Don't get stuck with the product that's now stuck in the pipeline, because there is some product stuck in the pipeline. When this all stopped, product got stuck. And they may want to cut the head off of some of that and come up with new stuff. So just be aware that some of that stuff may not come back. Some of it may. It doesn't matter. You should have new product ready to go for when this all kind of comes out in the wash, because we are going to survive this. We are going to come out the other side, and we're going to have to keep working. So you might as well prepare yourself.
Absolutely right.
And the other thing is where do you think we're going to be in 3 or 4 months' time with say not having movie theaters? Because like 2 nights ago, we watched The Invisible Man at home for $20, and it was like, this is a blast. And it would have been a lot more fun to see the movie.
$20? Did you say $20?
$20 to watch. Yeah, 1999 through iTunes. We watched The Invisible Man as a family, and we had a blast. It's a really good movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's really good. And I'm just wondering if, like, going forward, if say the theatrical windows are going to collapse now, and it's going to be like, we'll have a movie in the theater for 2 weeks, and then it'll be on Netflix, or it'll be on HBO, or it'll be on demand, or whatever.
Yeah.
If things are going to change that way.
Well, I read today Wonder Woman 1984. I think they're calling it now. It's coming out, and they were just going to release it straight to a platform, but now they're going to theatrically release it. So they're still going to put movies out in theaters. I just don't know how many people are going to go, unfortunately.
Pete, I think that's a great question. I think that what happens in really dark times is that people figure out, or networks figure out, that consumers don't care whether it's in a theater or not.
Right.
And also, it's funny because now I look at my feed on Instagram, I look at my feed on Facebook, and I notice, I have a lot more likes than I ever have before on a lot of my stuff, a lot of my things. So I think that we're in a time that everything that's on Netflix, everything that's on HBO, everything that's on Disney Plus is going to get watched. We're all going to watch it. We're going to consume all that because we have nothing else to do. It's going to change the trajectory of what people think is a successful show. Since we're watching everything is sort of successful right now.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to come a time when they're going to say, look, it doesn't make any difference. We can just release it and have people pay a premium $20, $25, $30 at home for a first-run movie, and they don't care if it's in the theater or not. I think that it's really difficult to make that call right now because we're all sitting at home wanting something else to watch. I think that this is just going to pass, and we're going to be watching things the way we used to. We may find that some networks or some studios want to put out products straight to the consumer, pay $30 for it. And this time is going to help people figure out if we're willing
Right.
to do that. And if
and I think like a movie like Black Widow, which is supposed to come out May 1st, now that's been postponed indefinitely. That's a movie that needs to come out in theaters for a ton of reasons, but the two main ones being people just love to see Marvel movies in a theater. Yeah. That's how they're built. And the other reason is it's just too expensive to not have a worldwide theatrical release.
Right. And that's Scarlett Johansson.
Just put it on as a streaming platform, or you just put it on HBO or whatever. It's not going to cut it. You got to put a movie like that out in theaters.
Is that Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
That's the third reason. She needs to be on the big screen. I don't need to see her on my.
I knew there was something I was forgetting. Right.
She's got two big.
I didn't want to seem like that guy, but I kind of was.
I do think that this unprecedented situation is going to have us viewing and watching things differently for a while. I think you don't want to misconstrue that and make it seem like, hey, we're always all going to be home watching all kinds of stuff all the time, because we're not. We're going to go back to life as usual. We're going to get out into the world. We're going to change all that. So I think that a lot of product will be available over the next 6 months that will be fed to you differently than you've got it fed to you before. And then they'll go back to, the way it was. And maybe premium films will be released to the public early on VOD, but probably not everything.
Right. Like Trolls World Tour, the second Trolls movie, it's still coming out on April 10th, but it's all coming out on, online. It's all going to be on demand now.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Trolls World Tour.
Who can? I'm stoked. I love the first one. Who was singing along? This guy right here. Every tune. JT, man. Timberlake.
Hey, could you create a little trailer for us right now?
Trolls World Tour?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Trolls are back. The hair is back. And get ready for a tour like you've never seen before. Trolls World Tour. Only on your home screens. I'm sure they love that. Actually, a friend of mine co-directed that movie. And he's just kind of like, hey, whatever. At least people are going to be able to see it. I mean, he's been working on it for years. So he's so stoked about the movie, though. He loves the movie. He said the movie's been testing great. It's supposed to be great. So, Godspeed. Hopefully it'll find a bigger audience now, initially at least, when it comes out on demand.
It's weird. It's weird to be in a time when you're a producer or you're a director or you're an editor and you're making movies. There was a time when you said, like, no, this is going to be in theaters. No, we're going to get a theatrical release. I mean, it does not matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. Like, right. If you say you're going to get a theatrical release, people roll their eyes because you're like, you're not getting what movie is coming?
They play it at one theater one theater out in Winnetka. Yeah. That's a theatrical release. By the way, it's so great to blame so much stuff on this pandemic. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say that right now.
I could be lazy. So
it's been so long since I've been on the podcast because you guys do it on your own now. That was the last one I was on. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Hoodie from his iPhone.
Yeah, from the 101 in my wife's car.
That's my favorite.
Mine's broken down in the shop.
But no, so just to catch you guys up, I am releasing Love and Betrayal on Quiver, which is a company that helps me get it onto Google Play, iTunes, and Amazon. So I'm doing all that through Quiver. Quiver is providing me with subtitles, closed captioning, and also doing a Spanish dub for me, all on quiver.com. If you're doing something with a film and you'd like to release it on Amazon or anything like that, I would go to Quiver. They can handle everything right there. All you have to do. By the way, I haven't been to Quiver. I've not set foot in their offices. Everything was done online. I uploaded the movie. I uploaded the trailer. I uploaded my artwork, all from my house.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
So maybe
are they a local company? Are they in Los Angeles County?
Yeah, they're in Los Angeles. They're right across from LACMA in Los Angeles, and I think they have another office in Chicago. But they're amazing. They're amazing. They've been around for a lot of years. Now they're really ramping up. Lots of independent filmmakers putting their films on iTunes. All the platforms. Voodoo, the works. You can put it out on every single platform right off of the board.
That's
You
great.
gotta put
So
east side
they
around.
help you out. They help you out with all the deliverables and everything.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So I would go check them out. Check out Quiver. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us again on Let's Get Into
That's
It.
We're done.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
it. What?
Sorry.
Dude, I'm in a pandemic. We're in shut-in. I got nothing else to do. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? I thought we were going all day.
I'm gonna go through Davies Heroes and like every one of these.
I like that.
Man, it's amazing.
Thanks.
Davies Heroes, check it out.
Yeah.
You guys, everyone, stay safe. We'll do another show soon. But hey, Pete, why don't you take us out, buddy? Come on.
This has been another amazing episode of Let's Get Into It with Davey Dave, Rod Duddy Ring, and Mark Ice Roberts. Sayonara, and see you on the other side.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
See how this recording comes out. It's the first time on, what is this thing called? It's
Zoom.
It's all right. We're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
All right, fellas. Thanks again.